We are about to go in and fight for a judge to release Lisa Coulter after 18 years being in prison, serving a 25 to life sentence.
We're here to support Lisa Coulter, who was lifed 18 years ago on a non-violent offense, and we're going to see if we can get some justice. So we just ask that you give us comfort with what's about to come. If it's not what we expected or not what we think it is, allow us to get through it and understand that you've got a greater plan than we could ever imagine. Amen. Amen.
Sentenced to life. You know, it's just you have to kill yourself in order to get up and do your day. Maybe you make a phone call home and you allow yourself 10 minutes of emotion, but after years you just don't do that. And after pretty much 10 years I eliminated people from my life.
And there is growing public support for Proposition 36. People get it. This initiative that was co-authored by Mr. Romano is a more thoughtful piece, and it really gets at the issue, and it's going to do the right thing by those who I think who have been unjustly sentenced to life in prison and still keep the public safe.
Inviting you to simply inquire about where to start getting out of here.
So I happened to pick up something that was, Judge Cordell was against the strike law, and I had no idea, I just wrote her.
I get her letter. I have the same, same attitude. I get it. Yeah, okay. So I read it. There was something about what she wrote that said to me, at least look into this.
Our supervisor in my office asked if I wanted to work on a special project, and she started talking to me about Lisa and her case. Then I wrote her a letter, short, but it said, "Hi, I'm Megan. I'm interested in your case, and I want to see if I can help you, and I'm going to come visit you."
We continue to help you prepare for the upcoming elections. Tonight, we focus on Proposition 36. It would change California's 3 strikes law and allow thousands of inmates in prison to apply for resentencing.
I remember getting a call from Megan, and she was really disappointed and a little upset because she had learned that the DA's office had decided to oppose a resentencing of Lisa. And I just remember that conversation with Megan and said, so, you know what you have to do. You got to gear up, you have to organize, put it together, it meaning this case together, and you go fight the good fight.
I think to truly represent somebody and really understand them and get in their head, you have to understand where they're coming from or where, the road that they've gone down. And I was just online looking at different things, and I came across sisters that been there because a few months before, my mom had pulled aside a Mercury News article about CETA just because she thought I'd think it was really interesting, and I somehow came across it online, and so I emailed her blog.
It was the first comment that I had actually received from the blog, and she was asking if I could help her with a client, and I was kind of blown aback, thinking to myself, what am I gonna do to help a public defender? The day that I realized that this woman has not seen her daughter in 18 years, she won't even be able to see straight. So I thought to myself, well, wouldn't that be cool if I could call the daughter and set up a visit or encourage her to visit for Lisa's sake and to help Lisa heal some things that were broken.
They came in to tell me, Lisa said, we're arresting you if they brought my daughter back in. She was 3, and I said, Joey, you're gonna go with John, and I'm gonna go to Elmwood. So you're gonna be a good girl and type of thing, go with John. And she said, why can't I go? And I said, because it's only for big girls. Little girls can't go. I just could not tell her. I just said, go with John. And last time I seen her, she was walking out.
We are going to the Elmwood County Jail in Milpitas to the women's section, where Joey is going to go into the visiting center for a visit with her mom. How long has it been since you've seen your mom?
It's been about 20 years. Aside from being nervous and anxious, I'm excited to see her because it's just been long overdue.
Particularly today, when you see the family side of it and the emotion and the rawness of it all, it feels very overwhelming. I think I would like to say I'm this badass attorney that's just so tough and it's gonna go in there and storm the courtroom. And you know, there are days where I doubt myself, and I hope I can give her justice. I really hope I can.
One thing I keep going back to is, how can she be so bad? I came from that woman. My daughter came from me, my son, both my sons. That's not all bad.
Yeah. No, it's not.
You know.
Well, I think like we do with a lot of our clients, the same with Lisa, I put on a really tough exterior, and sometimes I feel like when I'm going to the jail, I have to like put my big girl pants on and be like, you know, we have a job to do. You know, we can't get mired down and crying, and we can't focus on all of the excuses, and we can't justify everything that's happened. We have to attack it, and we have to do it with a game plan and a strategy. And I'm always talking about her case, about my 3-point attack plan, and sitting here, I'm sort of laughing at myself because it's like, she doesn't give a shit, excuse my language, about a 3-point attack plan. You know, to her, this is her life. This is her daughter. These are her grandkids. This is all the things that she hasn't gotten to be a part of that she wants to be a part of. When I go in there with my checklist of questions and all the things we need to talk about, I'm sure there are days where I maybe seem cold. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, there's a whole emotional human side that sometimes it's easier to put away than to actually feel.
Mama, I'm right here.
I told my husband on the way here, I said, the hardest part of this is not going in there, it's not seeing her, it's leaving without her.
So we just ask that you give us comfort with what's about to come. If it's not what we expected or not what we think it is, allow us to get through it and understand that you've got a greater plan than we could ever imagine. Amen. Amen.
So when the judge came back out to give her decision, but I know she started out by talking about how she was given opportunities that she didn't take. She kept getting in trouble, and for a second I thought, oh shit. But then she said but, and it was just this big but. And the moment when she said but, I just knew that this is how it needs to be.
So proud of you. You know, you are.
I was so worried. You know?
I wasn't. Well, I know who you are. God put you in her life for a reason. I knew it. Like from the moment you contacted me, I'm like, who is this lady? What the heck? This would never happen. This woman is something else. She does. She does.
Yeah. Everybody deserves that.
Elk Grove, by Sacramento.
It was nice.
I know, and I've got to call like everybody. People are waiting for this.
Maybe you should just put it on her Facebook.
I'm just really excited for myself, but I'm excited for her. Finally. Woo! Oh, I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I can finally, she went in when I was about 3.5, and here I am 36 years old, so I'm just excited so she can be there for the birth of my child. She can finally be a grandmother.
I walked back from court just by myself, and I had so far not really gotten emotional, and I remember turning the corner by the jail, and I was pregnant at the time, and the baby started kicking, and for some reason at that moment when I was by myself and walking down the street, I remember thinking like, well, baby girl, we did it. We showed them, and I like just lost it. I totally started crying, just like like walking in the crosswalk by myself. I'm sure if anybody was driving by, they were like, what's going on with that lady?
So this is a story that I believe is a win-win for the community, for Lisa certainly and her family, but also for the system. This is something that got made right. And how often does that happen in the system? Not as often as it should.
This is an actual copy of my state ID that when you're released, of course you're released with nothing, so it served as an ID, and this was my actual ID, and it's the only thing they released me with, that. I struggled with a little bit, and I cried all the time. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
Happy superhero birthday. I made this card for you, Carter. Your granny's superhero because you're such a good guy. You always do your best and do what's right and what's fair, okay? Good guys do what all superheroes do. Happy birthday to my superhero, Carter.
She's here with my kids.
We have a family. I've never had a family before. This is my family.
We did first Christmas together.
Yeah.
It's every little thing that I really don't sometimes think about, but she'll say it out loud. This is my first Christmas out,